he's just like a strictly better man than I am. He's an architect, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of interesting the way his hair works. His roots are purple and the top of his hair is black. It's weird how genetics work.
It is genetics, man. Humans have evolved and we've become a great species.
All right, well, jumping into game number 4 here. Aaron has got to fight his way back from a small deficit, but a deficit nonetheless.
Yep. The Hunter versus Temple Mage matchup is really interesting. For a while, the Temple Mages felt like they were empowered because of so many weak early game minions from Hunter. You could just use the Flame Wakers, the Arcane Missiles, like pings to sack Fiery Bat, Huge Toad. Now with the inclusion of things like Kindly Grandmother and Infested Wolf being very common, it's made it a little bit more awkward for the mages, especially with ones that curve out at such a high top end. You have, you know, we were talking about Ragnaros, Yogg-Saron, some of these other cards in the deck. Makes it not guaranteed whether or not you have an early start. But this is good for Che0nsu. The fact that he has the Sorcerer's Apprentice and some early game spells to play.
This early hand is really good, but it's actually quite hard to navigate the early game against Hunter because a lot of Temple Mages, I think, fall into the trap of trying to play a little bit too slow against Hunter and end up taking too much damage or running into a situation where they have a minion that's too hard for them to remove because they took the early game too slow. And I like the way that Che0nsu plays this, and that's going aggressive and getting something on the board, because if you just pass there, then you're giving your opponent a chance to capitalize on that. And even if you just coin ping there, you're not going to get value of that Sorcerer's Apprentice for at least another turn. This way he can get as value out of it as early as next turn and keep that thing alive for, you know, most of the game if Aaron doesn't have Quick Shot, which he does.
Yep, certainly. And I think one of the interesting things, too, is if he chose to hero power ping with the coin, it would have completely changed the outcome of the game, because then he'd be playing the Sorcerer's Apprentice with the Arcane Missiles next turn, or, you know, maybe he'd be the one that's holding on to it later and playing a little bit more passive. You just generally want to get ahead of the Hunter. He sees his opponent Quick Shots because Aaron's unwilling to let Sorcerer's Apprentice get value by playing Kindly Grandmother into it. And so Che0nsu is forced to either have a really weak play by hero powering or play Blood Mage Thalnos, which I wouldn't hate either.
Yeah, I think he just has to play the Blood Mage. Like you said, getting a hit on board needs to happen early, and even if that board is just a Blood Mage Thalnos, that Blood Mage Thalnos can still get some work done, whether it be buff the spell power up to deal with the Misha next turn, or trade into something that has 1 health. Things along those lines.
Yep. All right, so now we have two. It's a 1-1 party. Mana Worm, of course, being different.
Don't be different.
No, it should definitely be different. Although sometimes I wonder if Mana Worm is different just for the sake of being different. No one really wants to be like that shade of pink. Kappa. I like how you cocked your head back for that laugh. All right, the Fireball pickup's not going to be that useful here. And now the Big Bad Wolf has been revealed. How will Che0nsu respond? Just Frostbolt.
Yeah, that's actually the original, you know, Big Bad Wolf story. I believe it was written by David Hasselhoff in the 70s.
He does have the same shape in terms of his body figure. I imagined a mankini on the Big Bad Wolf.
He modeled it after an episode of Baywatch.
The Big Bad Wolf, just look at the picture. Next time this Kindly Grandmother pops, just look at the picture, and I think you're actually spot on with the Dable has.
Yeah, in that episode that was has since been lost, the Big Bad Wolf died from a bolt of frost.
Ooh.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite the same when they hired that new actor. Che0nsu ends up going for the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Ooh, not bad. Picks up that mirror image, protects his interests.
I was actually going to say, you know, maybe it's better to just hold on to it and save it next turn for the Flame Waker. But, you know, that Mana Worm has a lot of value right now. That bad boy is pushing 4 damage right now.
Yeah.
And possibly more next turn.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Aaron, if he even plays Houndmaster, is a little bit intimidating because he can't even clear these taunts and get past to the Sorcerer's Apprentice and the Mana Worm. So he has two choices: either play the Origin Horse Rider, start pushing to eliminate those, or play Houndmaster, play more powerful board and more tempo. I personally like the Houndmaster play a little bit more. And it's just stuck in awkward spots. And this is where the Temple Mage is at its best because it's able to leverage its board. It's not even the fact that it's against Hunter, it's against any deck, any class. Usually Warrior is the best at equipping it because you can just brawl. But even then, they struggle with it sometimes, especially the ones that play Water Elemental in their builds.
Yeah, or especially the ones that just have hands full of spells. You're just like trying to bait them into playing into Brawl by holding on to it, and then just keep hitting you for 3 every turn, which is the Sorcerer's Apprentice. It keep throwing burn at you, and you just can't deal with it. So, but that's a story for another matchup. Another mirror image. Now he's got a Flame Waker to combo with it. The thing is, how does he make these trades?
Right.
Because that's Kindly Grandmother that's been buffed by the Houndmaster, serving to be a pretty big thing. If he goes with the trade from the Sorcerer's Apprentice first and then Flame Waker mirror image, then that means he's not going to have enough mana to ping.
Yes. But I guess you could always see the outcome first of the Mirror Image Flame Waker combo synergies. Of course, the Mirror Images just stalling, but they also have this weird passive fear that gets created in the mage. It's like, what if he has Unleashed the Hounds and answers this with just a giant wave of threats? He chooses to trade in the Mana Worm first, so that way he can optimize his damage in case it hits the Big Bad Wolf, played by David Hasselhoff. It'll roll in the credits, you'll see. Oh, he does.
Yeah, he would have liked to hit the Fiery Bat with that second missile, but that's maybe a little bit too wishful thinking, but still, looks like his Sorcerer's Apprentice is protected for now, unless Aaron were to have damage from hand, which he does, but I can imagine this is going to go face.
I think the Houndmaster is actually the one to audition for the role of Baywatch. Just look at this running pose. Feels good.
Yeah, it looks like he's even holding something. Maybe
a life vest.
Maybe a floating device, perhaps?
Maybe a floating device. Oh, man. It's perfect. You're hired. At this point, Aaron picks up the Call the Wild, which is very far away from being played. So all he has is the Argent Horse Rider. The way the trades go down actually are very convenient with the 2-1-2. I guess the Houndmaster kills the Flame Waker. I guess you could also keep the Flame Waker alive and sort of like call out your opponent and say that you don't have any spells. You could Houndmaster go into the 0-2 and then the Arcane, not the Arcane, the Argent Horse Rider go into the Sorcerer's Apprentice. But that's playing with fire.
It is.
Or playing with flames.
Yeah.
You know, in the... TJ, it's late, please.
Good one, Dad.
Keep it together. You're not making sense, TJ. The fact that the Sorcerer's Apprentice didn't die means that Fireland's Portal is now eligible for being played here. What 5-mana minion is good?
There's a lot. I mean, you could get Earth Elemental, as we talked about before. You get Doomguard.
Doomguard's sick.
Yeah, you could get even Leroy Jenkins in this situation would be fantastic because he's just pushing an extra 6 damage. In which case he would be able to set up for lethal next turn. But it looks like ooh, Tundra Rhino.
Yeah, just pretty much anything that he could play and still have reasonable ways to answer the board is good. Tundra Rhino's excellent for the future turns. I wouldn't expect it to live very much. In fact, I think Aaron was hoping for maybe Savannah Highmane instead. Barnes, not Ragnaros, I guess, but almost anything else that would be more reasonable because his hand's looking very feeble until he gets to Call the Wild turn.
Yeah, and Che0nsu has sort of activated a race. He pulled up next to Aaron at the stoplight, revved his engine.
Yeah, and I mean, Jaina's got some pretty nice rims. It's pretty hard to race against her from this position where you're already at 13. So Che0nsu, I mean, he's got the Fireball. If he just picks up Frostbolt, that could be game.
Yeah, I mean, even just enough damage. He could kill him over 2 turns regardless, right? If he hits face and pings this turn. He puts him down to 8. No, he wouldn't actually kill him over 2 turns, so he actually has to have another piece of bird or something stick onto the board. So maybe it's better just to play the Emperor Thorsan here to try and bait in some attacks or guarantee you have yourself some damage. So Emperor Thorsan and then kill the Tundra Rhino. I don't know though, because that's tough. Because then you're not sitting up for kill next turn, and then you've sort of slowed down and said, you know what, I don't feel like racing today. Backed out at the last moment. Yeah,
and while there is an unsung rule of Hearthstone street racing where we say no take backsies, I agree with this line. I think the Tundra Rhino is very threatening because over 2 turns you know what can be done with if Savannah Highmane or if a Call of the Wild comes out in 9 mana. You'd be in big trouble. And you don't have that guarantee anyways. You could be waiting for burn that would never come to your hand, and then you ultimately just fall super far behind. But now look at Hunter. He's the one putting pressure, and now Che0nsu is at 16.
Yeah. But Che0nsu can set up for a 2-turn lethal now. If he pushes 6 this turn, then next turn he could play Fireball plus a ping, which would be guaranteed lethal. He's thinking, what kills me? And is there a 2-card combination that kills me? The only combination would be double kill command.
Yes.
Which he would need a kill command off the top. Call of the Wild wouldn't kill him. So he's going to make sure that he sets it for next turn lethal, and I don't think Aaron has a chance to win here. There's not a card in his deck that's going to help him survive. Wow. Well,
3, 6, 11, 13. 13 damage.
3 off.
Ways.
Yeah.
That's definitely unfortunate for Aaron. Che0nsu, I like also that he fireballed this turn. I mean, a lot of people might feel like, what if he had healing? There's really no healing in Hunter.
Well, actually, there's a lot of things that would have killed him, right?
You mean Che0nsu?
Yeah. So 2 Eaglehorn, sorry, 1 Eaglehorn bow Aaron has, 1 quick shot left in the deck, or double kill command. So we'd have to have exactly kill command, quick shot, kill command, bow, or kill command, kill command.
Yeah. So 2 pieces of damage.
Yeah.
Would have destroyed him. What about a Houndmaster? Would that have
he would have been 1 off with Houndmaster, I believe.
Okay.